how to train for a marathon with a long build-up. We set the race date, we count back to our start date. In this case, it's 29 weeks, and we break those 29 weeks up into training phases. The peak phase, the specific phase, build phase, base phase, and general preparation. Peak takes 3 weeks, 6 weeks for the specific, 6 weeks for the build, 6 weeks for the base, and 8 weeks in this case for general prep. Most training phases should take 6 weeks. 6 weeks is long enough to consolidate the training. That is, the adaptations, all your gains are more robust. And at about 6 weeks, it really is time to change the stimulus, as repeating the same thing becomes much less effective after this sort of time frame. Now, the general phase can last longer because there will be some inbuilt variability in that training in itself. The peak phase is for the final touches. The specific phase is where we get really specific on marathon preparation. We expect some fitness elements to maybe decrease a little bit while we're aiming to maximise those that are important for race day. The build phase is where we want to increase our fitness to the maximum we can to be able to handle, absorb and adapt to the specific training that's to come. In this phase, we also get a little bit more specific in our training than we had previously. The base phase, for marathon training, we want to maximise our endurance. We want to increase our VO2 max, work on our anaerobic threshold and develop that workload and strength base so that we are ready to handle the training that's to follow. The general preparation period, this is where we're furthest from our specific training. Here we work on all aspects of fitness. So we're going to aim to develop our power, our strength, our speed, our endurance, all aspects of fitness so that we're well-rounded, we're protected from injury, and we're ready to start the base phase to build up to the marathon. The good thing in general preparation is there should be a fair bit of variety in training. This is where we really want to work on our weaknesses and bring them up. At the start and end of each training phase, we mark out the key workouts that we need to reach. Time, distance, or pace-based, it depends on the training phase and the workout itself. Let's take the long run for an example. Over the general prep and base phases, the long run will be time-based. There's also an intensity guideline, and that is my zone 2, 67% to 80% of heart rate max. So however long the run is, it will be at this intensity, and the pace will simply be a byproduct of that. To be ready for the build phase, after the general preparation and base phases, I believe I need to be able to run for 3 hours in zone 2. So I'll mark that at the end of base phase. That's the key workout. And right at the start now in general preparation, I believe I'm able to handle 2 hours. So 2 hours is what I mark right now.
First run done of the Marathon Project 2021. 2 hours, long run.
In between the marks, I plot a straight line. Based on this, I know where my run should be based on the date or where I am in the training program. This will hopefully stop me from pushing too hard too soon, which has often been a problem in the past. For the VO2 max and interval trainings, I'll start with the Uppbeat 30-30, which are short versions of VO2 max training, and the volume on that intense training is down low, but the speed is actually reasonably high. Covering this workout will be a video in itself. Throughout the remainder of the general preparation and base phases, I'll progress these workouts to longer intervals until I reach the start of the build phase, where I believe I need to be at certain paces for these intervals in order to reach the time goals that I've set for the upcoming marathon. This is a bird's eye view of how I map out the training plan. Does it make sense to you? Do you map out your training like this? Or do you follow a different system?